Welcome back to Days Off. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the garage, 2 days off. This is segment 34. This time, we're taking my GC8 shit box, lifting it up 2 inches, getting some bigger tires on it, and getting ready to go thrash it around the dirt in Pemberton a week from now. We got all these new parts. It's all Forester stuff, KYB, got a new exhaust tip that we're gonna V-band and make swappable with the muffler. Tie rods, lug nuts, got some other stuff in the mail. It's gonna be a really fun episode. We're gonna get f***ing filthy because this thing is gross underneath and it's gonna be a good time. So excited to be back. Let's get to it. Okay, got the quick jack set up. I absolutely love these things. They're a bit heavy and honestly, they're a little awkward to get into position, but the great thing is once you have them all set up, shit, I gotta say. Man, it looks like full motorsport spec pit crew in here. I love it. Work at my car more. Severely dehydrated and out of shape. All right, so one of the fun parts of this job that I remember when I put the KYBs in is getting in here. 2 and 3 bolts. Nuts. This peels back a little bit. Last time, and now I remember, this was either on this one, or on the STI that you never saw on this channel, but taking the seatbelt out and then getting the bolt back in after was the biggest fucking pain. Took me like an hour and a half. No joke. 1 bolt, could not get it to thread. Anyway. Okay, that actually wasn't so bad. Got the reels out of the way, didn't have to take the tray off. Got the strut top, nuts off. So I've got 1 nut on each side holding the strut up. Now what we're gonna do is come down here, bolts here, and the sway bar. So yeah, undo the sway bar, camber bolts, shock comes up. Easy enough. So, got the brake line disconnected, took the retaining clip out, disconnected from the caliper, pulled it through this stupid loop, which I'm probably gonna replace with a zip tie, like I said. So dumb. I don't even know, like I said, I don't even know why I put it back like that. It was an incredibly dumb move. Just gonna make things harder when you pull things out, which I did not expect to do, I guess. Anyway, so that's out. Last bolt is this camber bolt here, and then we're gonna push the shock, pull it down, we're gonna let this droop, and then we're gonna pull our rear shock out of these boxes here. Can we just take a minute to appreciate what Motegi's done here? Style and value. Love it. Anyway, sidetrack. So strut's coming out. We're gonna put the new, what are these called? FCS Auto. Basically, direct from China, Rock Auto Special. I'm kidding. These actually have really good, even when you order parts that aren't for your car, you gotta read the reviews. These actually have pretty decent feedback online. So they're about, I wanna say like $80 of strut for the rear. I think 95 per front, Canadian. And then I shipped all this stuff, this big pile here, I shipped all of that for like 200 bucks express. You know, I could have waited, but I've only got like 2 weeks, so I just wanna make sure I leave myself as much time to get this all done, just because, you know, things happen. We're still looking for trailing arms. Like, I don't even know if that's gonna happen this weekend. So the wheels are gonna sit like super far forward. Like they'll probably almost be touching the fender well, because you have to get Forester rear trailing arms. That's this on here. You have to get Forester rear trailing arms, or you have to space out this entire bracket here, which, you know, might be some fun fabrication, but it's a little bit past my knowledge, so I don't really want to go that far. We'll see what happens. But anyway, let's get this out. Let's get the new one in. Blah, 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 blah. Yak, 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 yak. I talk way too much. Okay, so shock bolts are out. Mount bolts, camber bolts, whatever you want to call them. These ones aren't actually camber-centric bolts, so the strut is loose. So I'm gonna go around and grab the top hat bolt right here. Not quite there. Ooh, hold on, got a little bit of cleanup here. This brake line's still weeping. No bueno. You don't want that. Which best option is just stuff rag in there, somewhere where it's out of the way. Oh shit. Probably helps when you have a battery. Okay, so we'll spin that out. And then this, sway bar's probably not gonna let it go by, but oh, we might. We got action. All right, there is one strut liberated. Boom. Nice and fresh. Okay, so the first notable difference. Okay, so the first notable difference here, size of the shock tube, way taller. Spring, way taller. Top hat also has this nice bearing attached. We're actually gonna get rid of that and use the KYBs over there. But look at the distance here. That's how much lift we're gonna get. You know, this will settle. This spring is gonna be a lot softer than the STI spring. This thing is gonna ride like a pillow. For now, some warning about don't be an idiot. Highly compressed spring, refrain from removing unit. Injury or fatality can result. Just a little reminder. Okay, let's see if we got our spring compressors, which are horrendously old. Probably shouldn't use them. But I'm feeling lucky tonight here. So I think we can mount this spring compressor there. Let's see if that goes by. Do like one lower, one higher on opposite sides of the spring. Even be a 19. Oh no, it's 21. There's one. Whoop. It's a little large. Okay, so once you're done shitting your pants, tightening the spring compressor side by side, the way you'll know when it's safe to disconnect the top hat and that everything's not gonna explode. This is really nerve-wracking to hold it like this, by the way. I'm doing this for the views, guys. That is a spring compress between my nuts. You should be able to just move this kind of freely between the top hat. You can see that. So that's compressed more than enough. I mean, I probably could have gone less than that, but you know, full send. So what you're gonna do now, grab an impact for that size. I believe this is I think that's also 20. Check. No, too big. So I think that's a 19. Bam! Top hat comes off. That top hat goes on. Uh-oh. We might be hosed right at the beginning. I gotta do some thinking, I'll be back. Okay, so this is one of those times when you discover like, oh yeah, I was supposed to do that before I did this. Whatever. Anyway, so I'm being dumb. The Forester entire assembly here, this is all one piece on the Impreza. It's two pieces. It's the spring perch and the top hat goes over top. It compresses it all. This is tack welded. I mean, I could very well bust the tack welds in there, take this all apart, but I'm not gonna do that. I really don't want this part because really, this is gonna have like no bite. Like there's gonna be no way I'm getting that tight at all. C-clamp. C-clamp might work. I could do C-clamps. Let's do C-clamp in there. This isn't a good idea, but my compressors don't fit that spring. I can't even remember how I got it on there. Oh, this is so dumb. Oh, you know what? What we get? Yes. Nope, can't do it. I'm scared. Oh, this is stupid. I did something stupid like this when I took them apart, I remember. I somehow compressed the spring and then compressed them with the spring compressors. Okay, that's... Okay, here's the lay of the land. Yes, I still got my safety helmet on. No judgment. It's scary. I've done springs like a million times. Still scares the living out of me. Anyway, so we got the Forester spring all freed up here. We have the Impreza spring perch and the Impreza top hat. So now that we're gonna stick all this stuff together with the magic bolt, where I put it, right here. So we're gonna compress the Forester spring down. We'll take the compressors off the Impreza spring. This is very confusing. So we're taking the compressors off the old spring and strut, putting them on here, compress it, not on, tighten it down. We're set, it's going back in the car. The other side, I'm gonna do it off camera because this side is taking way too friggin' long. And then we're gonna move on to the front. I don't know if we'll actually get to the front tonight. This is sort of gonna turn into I think this will turn into a kind of over the weekend, wishy-washy, you know, random Andrew can't make a plan, going with the flow sort of deal. Oh good, this thing still works. I actually had a close call. I tilted over a strut right on top of this thing. Pretty robust little camera, these GoPros. So I've been fiddling with these struts and springs for the last 2 hours now. And that's about as far as I got. So the Impreza top hat, you have to have, there's just no way you can make this work with just a Forester shock and spring. You would need all Forester arms, you know, rear trailing arm, lateral links, camber arm, all that stuff. What was I saying? I don't know. Camera died. Basically, what I'm getting at is I would need all Forester rear suspension to make this work. I'm sure the front would actually, looking at the strut and everything compared to the STI setup, I guess KYB 2.5 RS, whatever I have in there right now. Oh yeah. just the standard KYBs in the front because that's all that was available. Now that I think back and remember, it's just not going to work in the back the way I have it set up right now. So I have to kind of go back to the drawing board. What I'm wondering is if guys are using the stock Impreza struts on a Forester, or sorry, I'm so tired. What I'm wondering is if guys are using the stock Impreza springs on a Forester strut shock, and if that's giving them that extra little bit of lift. It's a little too late. I don't want to get out the rattle gun, disturb. We got a, you know, our friend lives in the basement, so I don't want to disturb her anymore. I've probably pissed her off enough. Sorry. So I'm gonna get back at this tomorrow. I'm gonna try and swap Impreza springs on Forester strut, see if that changes things at all, brings it to like, yeah, I don't really know what I'm saying. I'm gonna try and mix Impreza springs with the Forester struts tomorrow and see if that helps. If that's the way that they're talking about online. Maybe I just missed that they're just swapping the springs and over to the struts, not the full strut and spring assembly. Man, I can't talk. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna clean up a little bit more in here. We'll get back at this tomorrow. Continue days off, continue modifying the Subaru for some off-road rally cross action. Still having a lot of fun. It's just, you get perplexed by these things, it gets late, you start doing stupid shit. Is what it is. Thanks for tagging along, guys. I will see you tomorrow morning. Good morning. We're back in the shop, but we're not staying here. So last night I don't remember if I filmed any of this, so this might be an editor's note part where I say, cancel last night's shit, put this on, or cancel this on, use last night's. Anyway, go through that. So last night I ended up screwing with this a little bit more. As you know, I had a problem getting the strut to go home, and I figured out that what people have been doing this whole time, like I was thinking Forester strut and spring with an Impreza top hat and it goes in. Not the case. What you need to do is use the Forester shock, Impreza top hat, and Impreza spring. In this case, STI spring. So that's what I did. That's the STI spring, which doesn't look like an STI spring. To be honest, I thought they were a different color. Right now at full droop, the spring actually contacts the body of the car right there. You can see at ride height, when it's compressed, it clears, it has plenty of clearance. So I'm guessing that's the way people are doing it. That's the only way I can even get the shock to bolt to the spindle and go into the top. Now we begin the hunt for rear trailing arms, because I can't even get that trailing arm. Like, it's unbolted right now. You can see it. So it's unbolted, and those are the mount holes up there, and you cannot even begin to maneuver it back there to mount it. So right now I'm actually heading over to a friend's house. Sean is a guy that I met through photographing at the track and like Mustang friends and stuff. He's a really awesome dude. He's got a sick setup at his garage, and we're working on our friend Dylan's S197 Mustang that he popped the transmission. I think he blew third gear a couple weeks ago, and we're gonna go swap in a Calimer Stage 2 MT82. So that'll be kind of fun. I'm gonna go hang out with them, do that for a couple hours, and then we're gonna come back and get on this. I'm gonna hop in the Mustang, go get a coffee, and we're heading out to Langley. Let's go. Aside from my header scraping off every big undulation in the road, it is so nice out. I am so happy right now. The sun is out, it's not pissing rain. In the Mustang, probably for one of the last times, before 5.2. It's a beautiful day. Going to hang out with some friends. Man, this is what life is about. Doesn't get much better than that. Oh, it's so quiet right now. 2 with a new quick jack.
2.
Let's see if the Demon Tweak is a new pump. Nope.
Let's try the lines.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're kind of on it. Want me to see if I reach down and guide the wrench on it?
But yeah, I would try to just hit it with it's a 13.
Let's guide it on there.
It's a 13 with a bunch of extensions, so.
Yeah, I've got a 7. What is it?
So after like 3 hours, we finally get the car in the air because we used the wrong blocks on the quick jack. After we get a different pump and different lines. But Sean's a genius with Google.
I make no claims to be the person that knew that, just simply learned how to find the answer.
It was the tweak that mattered.
Yeah.
It's very random that it would.
I know.
No,
that
when
is
we go up.
very random.
Oh, of course, it's like the giant pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I'll start working on.
Yeah,
the 13. I can start working on that.
Yeah,
This
it's
one's
bigger. It's 15.
Uh-oh's never good.
Well, this guy's on there. Pry bar?
Is it in gear?
No. We unbolted the 4 bolts, but it's stuck to the face.
I see.
Pry bar, right?
Probably.
I don't think we use anti-seize. We're idiots, because this is aluminum. Oh no, this is steel though.
It's cast. It shouldn't be stuck to it. Should be not. Be careful it doesn't smash you in the face though, because it'll drop. Just, push the transmission and see if you can wiggle it.
Yeah.
That helps.
It's stuck to the main surface though.
Oh yeah.
He's the big daddy. No doubts there.
I've got shorter ones too.
This one's too big.
Yes.
Yeah,
Careful that fall and smash you. Yep. Maybe probably throw a bolt.
Yeah,
Here.
bolt in here.
Oh. I definitely saw it moving.
The wiggle is out somewhere. Oh.
You could also zip tie it up to the tunnel or somehow or something. Just leave it out of the way.
Oh, yeah. Hey Sean, do you want to pass a long socket, like it's American?
Martin uses metric.
Jump that same curve, you're gonna blow 3rd gear in this one.
No, we're gonna blow the clutch.
On next week's episode of Days Off, we put a new clutch in Golden's belly.
We should move all this shit out of the way.
Make it serviceable.
Put a block on it. And that's kinda...
If you guys want to shimmy, I can bench press it down. Up to you.
Well, Andrew and I can try to bench press it, I guess.
Yeah,
or we can use a scissor jack. We'll wiggle it loose and just kind of slowly bring it down the scissor
Yeah,
jack.
it can act as a base.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as we don't like let it tilt out. But it's gotta go. We gotta clear the input shaft. So it's
Yeah,
probably gotta go back like 4 inches.
You've got quite a few inches. Before you get that to gear.
Well, Sean could probably be doing this on week.
Yeah. Hold on. It might fall out. Oh, yeah, it's like half inch already. It'll rock on the quarter belts.
Water bounce are solid.
Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you keep lowering, same
Yeah, but what are we resting it on? Inside the bell housing? We lower the front. just so it's like kind of ready to catch it.
Hey guys, so little editing suite issue. Pulled on my GoPro footage from this whole day at Dylan's house, and for some reason, at some point when I was putting the GoPro under the car or something like that, it went to quick capture and no audio from the rest of the day got recorded. So I'm basically just turned into an 80s montage. There was a lot of funny shit that happened. Still makes a cool part of the video, so just wanted to let you know. While we're here, why don't you jump down, hit the subscribe button, maybe give it a like, leave a comment on how stupid I am, and yeah. Let's continue with the video. Okay, so I've only got a little bit of time left on this thing. Camera died right as we were inspecting what was coming out of the transmission fluid, Dylan's MT82. Struggled all day trying to get it out. It's pretty late in the day. We won't get any GC8 stuff done today, unfortunately, but that was really fun. I had a great time hanging out and like wrenching, and like that was, again, more motivation for doing the work on the verdict. I can't wait. I really can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going back home right now. I'll probably see you guys in a little bit in the shop. Well, this is what an abandoned task looks like. Morning, guys. So it's Sunday now. Yesterday, camera died. So the camera died at Sean's house, and then it died again in the car, and I just didn't get back to recharging it. Fell asleep on the couch after I ate like a bunch of burgers and fries, feeling it today. Got like a food hangover. It's not good. I got a couple things to do this morning before I can get back to work on the car, but we're gonna tackle the other side of the back and the fronts. All right, so we're back in the shop. It is now 4 o'clock on Sunday. A bunch of stuff. Had to do a bunch of stuff today, so kind of got out of hand, but gonna start now. We're gonna just blast away at this. Get this other rear strut done and jump over to the front and just bang this out. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. I gotta work in the morning, so bed by 9 o'clock. Hopefully we can get the springs and everything swapped over. I ordered, like I said, I ordered rear trailing arms last night, so I'm gonna try and bolt these ones up, see if I can get it to work. It'll just have a lot of caster. If I can't, I'll just set the car down and leave it in here for tonight. And when the trailing arms come, we'll deal with it. Okay, here we go. Top of the tower is tight, top of the tower is tight, top of the tower is tight. Anyway. Okay. Now it looks like, even though this trailing arm is bolted up, it actually looks like I'm gonna be able to get this in relatively I'm not even gonna say easy. I already jinxed it, whatever. It looks like I could actually get it to bolt up without pulling the trailing arm off. So I'm a happy guy. We are halfway into the fronts. I screwed up the first part of the time lapse and put it on continuous photo, so maybe I'll be patient enough to stitch those together, but I doubt it. The front spring purchase on this thing were absolutely wasted. Like, that's pretty grimy. And there's like no cover on that inside, like it's gone. And the bearing is just packed full of like dirt and shit and grease. Pretty nasty, so. Junk. Going to do the other side, and then we're gonna bolt them in, be done with this for today. Let's do it. Dude, look at the gap. That is the opposite of a stance guy. It's like the perfect amount. It doesn't look ridiculous. And it's gonna be functional. Oh my God. This is sick. We just lifted this thing. I am so excited to get some rally tires on it and hit the dirt. I'm gonna do some cleanup, and then maybe we'll take this thing out. Well, the floor is a mess. So after a record time brake bleed, we're going for a drive. See how this thing feels. First impressions, just rumbling down the street. It's really like darty because of the steering. I don't know what that was. Yeah, the steering's really jacked up. It needs a really bad alignment. But it doesn't feel like binding or anything, like the steering's still free. I don't hear any axle clunking yet. The first few bumps, the top hats are quiet, which is nice. It's been, that back one over there has been just hashed forever, so it's been super noisy, but so far so good. I've got the light on the dash for the e-brake, so I think the lift up actually made the e-brake cable have tension on it, because the handle's not putting it down, so that's weird. Still corner slide, it's a little bit more lofty. You gotta lean into it a little bit more. All the bolts are rattling around in the back. It's rather terrifying to drive right now. The brakes don't work, you gotta pump them up to get them to bite, and it just feels sketchy. But a few tweaks, you can't see me right now, a few tweaks and this thing will be back to normal, plus, you know, a couple inches of height. I'm so stoked that I got this done. You know, in between helping out my buddies this weekend, it was super awesome. It was a really great time. Pulling a transmission out of Dylan's Mustang, hanging out at Sean's house, and then of course wrenching on the GC8 here. Oh, definitely sits taller. I'm definitely burning some brake fluid that I spilled. Got some more work to do. I'll plug you guys in when we get on that. rear links in. And we got some wheels and tires on the way. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. Enjoy your own days off, and I'll see you on the road.